How to stay calm in a wipeout. Is it a must for surfers to be able to hold your breath for 5 minutes? Hi, I'm Carolina Bon, and in this video I'm going to break down some stereotypes on breath holds and breath work for surfers, and also share some super useful tips to reduce your anxiety, perform better in the water, and get rid of your fear surfing. I recently shared this video on breathwork and I've received some feedback and questions on Instagram. If you also have some questions or want to ask me stuff about surfing in Puerto Escondido or other things, you can either ask in the comment section below or DM on my Instagram, and I'll make sure to cover it in my next videos. So people asked me how to stay calm and how to survive the wipeouts, because I recently had absolutely terrible wipeouts and I had some of zicatela waves breaking right on my head. This is like the worst situation you could possibly be, and that happened to me yesterday in the morning. So I have been living here in Zicatela, Puerto Escondido, Mexico for around 3 months, and before that I lived in Bali for 5 years. And I always train breathwork super inconsistently. I'm sharing more about this in this video, and if you're having the same problem and like start to train and then quit, give up, and not consistent in your training, make sure to check out this online program. It's super useful and helpful. It has a free trial and you can check it out on their website. I've passed the training from Augusta and it was so helpful for me, and I learned so many different things from there. So why is it so important to stay calm in the water, and is it about how many minutes you can hold your breath for? So I really hate this myth, and when I started to share about breathwork on my Instagram and here on YouTube, so many people and surfers DM'd me and asked me like, oh, so how many minutes can you hold your breath for? Like, is it like 4 minutes or 5 minutes, because I can hold my breath for longer, and so on. And the thing is that if we're talking about surfing, not free diving or some other like breath holding competition, I'm not sharing tips for that. I'm not I don't know anything about this. I'm sharing tips that are super useful for surfers, surfing small waves or trying to surf bigger waves, and this is not about holding your breath for 5 minutes or increasing the time that you hold your breath for as the main goal and main result. But training the breath work and improving your breath holds will eventually lead to increasing this time. I had a very big increase. I started training and I could hold my breath for 1 minute, and I was so shocked. I was like, I was gonna die in a wipeout. But the thing is, training and using these easy tips, you don't need to be able to hold your breath for a very long time, and only with training later the result will come by itself. You don't need to focus on the number of minutes, because this is not what's gonna save you in the water. So the main goal, instead of holding your breath for a certain amount of minutes, is staying calm in the water, because this will allow you to make wiser decisions, not put yourself in danger, and reduce anxiety, perform better in the water, and not put yourself in danger of drowning, running out of oxygen, or not being able to swim or something. Two crucial mistakes I always used to do before starting to train and using these tips. So one happened to me in Zicatela here around 2 months ago when I just arrived, and I almost drowned. Literally, I started to pass out, everything already looked black, and somebody pulled me out from the water last minute, last second. So the thing is that I started to panic and freak out. I was surfing without a leash and I was left without my board in the impact zone. I already made it to the beach and I almost touched my feet with sand, I touched, and I thought, oh, okay, I'm safe. Before that, I took around 5 or 6 waves on my head and I made it to the beach myself. So everything was fine. But then a big set came and it sucked me back with the rip current under the lip of the wave, and I just ended up being in the same exact place that I was trying to avoid before, and I was trying to get out from there for the last 20 or 30 minutes already. And then I just couldn't believe, because that happened, and I was trying to pedal back to the beach, but I was moving further and further from the beach. And because I started to panic and not breathing properly, and I was super tired, I already felt like my whole body is numb and I could not swim productively, and moving just very slow and inefficient. And I made the wrong decision, because in my situation it would have been much smarter and wiser to look at the current and not trying to swim against the current, but allow the current bring me back into the deep part, so away from the impact zone, and then I could safely just swim around and make it to the beach. Not through the impact zone. But because I was swimming against the current, I made this mistake. I had to do it all over again, and then I already could not see anything. I could not scream or wave my arms. I made it to the beach myself for the second time, but then last second somebody just pulled me out from the water. I already almost fainted. And the second thing that always happened to me in Bali when I surfed Uluwatu or Padang Padang or other reef spots, every time, even not on a very big day, when I freaked out that I was holding my breath for a very long time under the water, I started to move my legs or feet or arms, something, and then I got reef cuts that was totally unnecessary and very easy to avoid. And after I started to train the breath work and practice these tips to increase my breath hold and to stay calm and reduce my anxiety and fear, I stopped these compulsive movements, and I avoided like 99% of the reef cuts that I previously always had, and it helped me so much. So I'm talking about, like, everyone can panic and be scared of something, and maybe you have your own mistake that you make when you have fear or freak out. So let me know in the comments and I'll make sure to cover it in my next video. So a lot of people who see big swells in Nazare and other big waves ask big wave surfers why they are doing this. So let's ask Andrei. Andrei, why do you surf big waves?
I love it.
What do you like most about it?
The impressions, like when you find the harmony with this like huge, big, scary shit, like it's, you don't feel like you got, but you're feeling like you're close to the God, like it's like a religion, you know.
Wow.
Miracle. when you do that wave, like it's like a miracle. You survive, and you're full of the emotions and like harmony, like with yourself.
Yeah.
Festival.
That's nice. So the next 5 super easy tips will help you to avoid this, and as a result, the main goal I'm talking here in this video is to stay calm, reduce your anxiety, reduce your fear, and make smarter decisions, perform better in the water, not put yourself in danger, avoid cuts or being sucked by the current or something else, and just bringing yourself to the safest place possible under these circumstances that you got into in the water surfing. So tip number 1, you can practice all these tips on land at first, get used to them, remember them, and then start doing in the water already tomorrow, the next time you surf, and you just notice how easy it will be for you. So tip number 1, whenever you hold your breath, you can count, not out loud, but like on your mind, and then, so you're underwater, you're holding your breath, and then you count like seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you will understand and see, being in the wipeout, in the water surfing, diving through the whitewash or being caught by the wave, you will see that the number of seconds that you are under the water is probably around like 3 or 4. And this is very funny how many surfers, they go to the beach and they say, oh, the wipeout was so crazy, I was underwater for like 30 seconds, that was insane. And then we watch the GoPro footage or the footage from the beach and we see that he was under the water for like 3 seconds. But of course it feels like forever, it feels literally like eternity. Just trust me, try next time you go out surfing and you get fear or something, get scared underwater, try to count and leave your feedback in the comment how many seconds that was in fact. So you can try on land, take your watch and measure the number of seconds that you feel absolutely comfortable holding your breath. I'm sure it will be over 30 seconds, like everyone is capable of holding their breath for 30 seconds. So then whenever you're in the water and you hold your breath for 3, 4 seconds or like 5 seconds and you're like, yeah, okay, I can do it for 30 seconds, super easy. So this is not scary for me. So a lot of people think it's super scary. Let's check if it's really scary or not. What is the scariest thing that happened to you and what you were most scared of?
What the scariest?
Yes.
Like not in the biggest swell, like in Ulu water, like my gun flying from under the water to my neck, and like it was close in the middle of neck, so it was a little bit dangerous.
So did it make a hole in your neck?
Yeah, like a centimeter deep.
Oh my God. Were you?
Nothing dangerous, nothing special, but it was
You just
really
want
surprise for me.
1 centimeter
10-foot
hole
gun.
in your neck when you're in the water in giant waves. Nothing, nothing dangerous. And the second tip, based on this one, instead of counting, you can sing your favorite song lyrics on your mind also when you're under the water, and this will help to calm down and just move your focus from being in the water, from your fear and like being so close to death, which is of course not, to something else like a song you really like. And then on land you can try to do it and count how many seconds your favorite lines are. For example, my favorite song, and I will sing it and count the seconds. Aunque digan que soy un bandolero donde voy, le doy gracias a Dios por estar donde estoy. So you see, this was just 15 seconds. Bandoleros, try yourself. I really recommend doing it to Don Omar's songs because he is King of Kings, the best singer ever. Leave your feedback in the comment if you agree or not. And this song really calms me down. It makes me think of Fast and Furious. Oh my God. I really hate this movie. Leave your feedback in the comment if you like it or not. But this song I always train. I train fighting. I watch my fights. Experience if you want. So anyway, choose your favorite song, or better, Don Omar's song. Leave your feedback in the comment which song you choose. Try on land and count how many seconds you sing your favorite part of the song, and I'm sure that this will be like and whenever you're in the water, try to do it and sing the song, and I'm sure it will be less than 15 seconds, so you will not be able to sing like say the lyrics of a big part of the song. So this is very helpful because counting still makes you a bit scared and focused on like, oh, I'm underwater for like 1, 2, 3, oh no, I'm gonna die. But when you're singing, you're like thinking like, oh, thank God I am where I am, you know, like Don Omar, you created such great music. So you're thinking about something else, you know? Okay, so were you bleeding when it happened? Like there was...
Yeah, a little bit, but it was not so strong, so like just hold. So I go to catch one more wave and then go back to the shore.
Oh my God. Oh my God, okay. So a lot of people watch the video of wipeouts, how you fall down from the wave and then some of the waves break on your head. So they ask, does it hurt to get wiped out? And what was the most painful in your experience?
Yeah, it's like it was hard. Like in the beginning, no. When you fall down, sometime, yeah, like you're feeling some painful. But if you have usually the vest, the protection, like impact vest, so it's feeling not so hard. But the most painful was like when I make it over the lip, and then with all the mess of the water, it started rolling me, shaking, and it was so much pressure from the water. So yeah, it was really painful for the ribs, for body. But it's after it's not so long time, like maybe a few seconds, like in the moment. But then, okay, you back to the surface, happy. See the jet ski. Oh yeah, I'm survived. It was the first wave in Nazaré. It was like new feeling.
Oh my God. Tip number 3 in the water, and it will really help you with breath hold, is relax. don't ever try to fight the whitewash, because probably this is impossible. Like if you're having trouble, you cannot just go up. So it means that at this very second, the whitewash is stronger than you. So don't try to fight it, or like move your body, or try to go up before it starts to move you, it stops to move you. And just relax and let the water take you wherever it's taking you, and then go up. So these two tips, especially with the song, will help you to relax, but also try to practice them all together on land, and your body will remember that this is a relaxing experience, and then you just need to relax every muscle of your body. And this will allow you to not lose the oxygen that you're holding when you're holding your breath underwater. Tip number 4, instant help in the water. For example, after you dive out from a wipeout and you need to pedal to not get caught by the next wave, try to make 2 long exhales, and then it will allow you to reduce anxiety, heart rate. Like this is just some physical, biological thing. Leave your feedback in the comment if you agree or not. Maybe I'm wrong, but exhaling 2 times in a row for 4 or 5 counts, it will help you to normalize your breath, and then perform better when you try to pedal out or away from the next wave. And tip number 5, super instant help. I have learned it from my coach, Dolphin. I'm sharing more about our breathwork training in this video I made a year ago, and he's a big wave surfer who surfed huge swells in Nazare. So he told me it's super easy, and I have been using it ever since. Every time, literally, I swear, all big swells in Uluwatu, every time in Zicatela here when I'm surviving wipeouts, I use it. So the secret and the myth behind the discomfort, you know, when you feel discomfort in the water, or when you are holding your breath and you feel like you're gonna die, this feeling does not come from the lack of oxygen that your brain might think, or like a lot of people may think. So whenever you're in the water working out, swimming, surfing, paddling, whatever, your oxygen level in your body is super high. If you put this COVID thing on your finger and measure the oxygen in your blood level, you will understand that it's like 100% probably. We did it with breath holds in this video with Dolphin. So the discomfort and the feeling that you are super scared and you are about to die, you need to breathe in urgently, it does not come from the lack of oxygen and the fact that there is not enough of oxygen in your blood. It comes from CO2. The thing that you actually need to do is not breathe in, but breathe out, because this feeling that you're about to die comes from another gas, another type of air. God, I think CO2 is not air, right? Or air contains CO2, right? Anyway, leave your feedback in the comment about air composition. So the thing is, when you're in the water and you see a big set is coming and you're gonna get caught, or you're about to dive, if you have like 1-2 extra seconds, the thing you should do is breathe out completely, get rid of CO2, because there's probably a lot of CO2, and then breathe in, like inhale very deep and then dive. So before inhaling, exhale and get rid of CO2. It helps me so much. Every time I see a huge Carmelita set is about to close on my head in Zicatela, I breathe out. That also allows me to calm down and normalize my heart rate and my breath, and then I breathe in, like inhale very deeply, and then I go under. So just remember, not just inhale, but at first exhale and then inhale. And people also ask me about the app that I train, and it allows you to train tolerance to the low levels of oxygen and high levels of CO2. It's called Apnea Training app on App Store. You can download it for free, and then there are 2 tables, super useful, and there is a way to measure your best time, and based on your best time that you can hold your breath now, the tables for CO2 and O2 tolerance will be built automatically in the app, and you can start training there. It's super easy and super helpful. I'm sharing more tips how to train with this particular app, because it's important not to do it like calm, but being active. So I'm talking more about this in this video. Check it out and leave any questions in the comment box below, and I'll make sure to cover it in my next videos. Thank you for watching, and click the like button if you like this video and it was useful for you. Bye.